and about 14 years ago in 2010, I got a phone call from Community Link. I happen to own some lots adjacent to 2 lots that Community Link was looking at acquiring for the new building. And so I got the phone call, agreed to meet with them, spent about 3 or 4 hours listening to Karen and Hector Lermer, the guy who actually called me, and some of the other board members just tell me about their vision for the new Community Link. After listening to them and thinking about their vision, my wife and I decided to donate our 3 lots. And I assumed that was enough, and Community Link would leave me alone. But unfortunately, that was 14 years ago. And what I learned is Karen Fuller can be quite persistent. But she's persistent in pursuing the vision of Community Link. And she'll sort of do whatever it takes.
Her vision to be able to see things that, again, we didn't see, and to put the right people in places to bring that vision about has been something that, again, I've been so thankful to watch just every year how it has grown exponentially. And she's a key reason that happened.
When I look at special people, I think of people that take their own time. They don't have to, but they take their discretionary time and they put it towards helping others, and that's who she's been. This organization wouldn't exist without her. Somebody that was courageous enough and thoughtful enough and caring enough, and was really impacted by our own faith to saying, how can I help those around me?
Karen has impacted lives directly and indirectly. There are citizens throughout the whole Northwest Tarrant County that have benefited from her work, whether they know it or not, right? Whether it's the school kid in the Eagle Mountain Saginaw School District, the church member sitting on the pew at one of our local church partners, the volunteer, or the client. She's impacted their lives by meeting their needs in different ways.
I would be remiss if I didn't say the Community Link would not exist without her. And not to put the burden on one person, but Karen has been the center spoke of the wheel since its inception. And we couldn't have done what we have done without the support of the churches that came together. But when Karen came here, Community Link was operating out of a closet and doing nothing compared to what they're doing now.
I think a good example of Karen, when she was here, the families that came in the doors really knew her. They really connected with her. And she could always be, they used to joke and call her the warden because she was the one that kind of laid the rules out, but they loved her and they loved her for it. And she always took care of people and really showed love, and they all respected her for it. So she just was a great example. What's it like working with Mom? In the beginning, we kind of questioned, if it was something we would be able to do, but my mom and I have always had a great relationship. We've always really enjoyed each other's company, and I've always just really looked up to her and admired the way she treats others around her and the passion that she has for people in our community. And so it really was kind of a no-brainer when it happened, and I knew that we would be a great team and that we could really move Community Link where it needed to go.
So, funny story, when I first came here, this was probably 10 years ago, and I first was volunteering. And the way we handed out food was a little bit different at the time. It was basically about volume per family members in a family, numbers of folks. So I was loading stuff up, and we put it on the scales, and then we write down how much food was given to what numbers of persons in the family. And then we load it in the car for the guest. And Karen saw me and walked over, and she's like, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Just writing this down." And she goes, "That's a family of 5. You did not give them near enough food. You need to be giving," and I can't remember the pounds per family member, but she was like, "That's not enough. You can't do that to a family of 5. And so I was like running back, getting more cans and flour and things like that. And so I was severely reprimanded for not following the instructions that I was probably given, but was hurriedly trying to make sure we got everybody through the line. So after that, I never failed with my pounds per family member. Got that all together.
That's great.
The words that come to my mind when I think about Karen Fuller are selfless, a great leader, and an example of what it's like to put other people before yourself, to look at the needs that are out there and know that you have a responsibility to help others with the gifts that you have. And she's always been that example for me.
Karen's legacy is every time she sees somebody that's received a resource through Community Link, whatever that resource is, whether it's food or counseling services or any kind of social service, she knows that she was a part of starting that. And again, that effort of saying, I could just watch these needs go by and I hope those people get help. Instead, she said, how can I do this? And started in with her faith of just saying, I want to get the right people around the table that are like-minded. And I think her legacy will be she started this. This is something that will always be connected to her efforts in making this a reality in our community.
So I think that Karen's mantra of once you know something, you have to do something will lead us all forward, because she will not allow us, even in her absence, to sit knowing that we have either an opportunity or a solution and not find ways to bring that to fruition. We'll bring it together, and we would have black marks on our record if we did not see an opportunity and find a way to seize it. And again, I think our leadership does a fantastic job at doing that. They see a need and they will go and shake the coffers to make sure that we've got funding to make those things happen and bring that to our community.
What am I most proud of? Yes, all this that happens, and the people that get helped, and the case management and the counseling, and our staff has grown from just me to about 20 now, and they're marvelous. They are so good at their jobs, and I'm just proud of who we are in this community and what we get to do. I really liked living in the bubble that I lived in before I found out about Community Link. I was a therapist, but I live in my little community and my little church and my little side of town, and I really didn't know the need. And I had heard there was a food pantry over here, but didn't really participate at all. And I got a phone call saying, would you like to be our executive director? They had never had any paid staff at all, or kind of say sort of paid. And so they said, just come watch, come spend the day with us. And I came and spent the day and cried all day. I didn't know. I didn't know about the need. I guess I didn't want to know. And so once I started opening my eyes to what the need really was, I felt responsible to try to do something to help that need. And so I guess that's what that means. If you see a need, you got to help.